Hello, hello, everyone. So nice to see all the familiar faces and Catherine. So nice. First, let's visit the dashboard so you know we're on the same page. I know people are already familiar with it, but Catherine doesn't know, and of course, you just good reminder. So if you go, I think if you're on Mac, I think it's Control Tab or Control something. I couldn't find the paper that tells me what it is, but it's something you can switch between the dashboard and the Zoom. If not, just minimize the Zoom for a moment. I just minimize it because on PC, it's also Control Tab, but mine didn't work for some reason. Used to work, but. So are you on the dashboard? Yeah, okay. So first, obviously, you got this. Enter the main stage, you're here. This one is something new. I didn't do it before, but I thought it would be a great idea. Do you see the button that says share divine guidance science photos with us? Yeah. Okay, so what I was thinking, because you know how we like sharing divine guidance science, right? You already know it. For Catherine, Knowledge, and Olivia, I have my clients here who already been exposed to divine guidance science a lot. So try and see. Remember, I gave you homework. So you got the science, hopefully you did. Well, I know majority here got million of science by now. Post as many as you want. I have no idea how it works, but I think there is a screen on the dashboard that we can see. We can all see that screen. And Marie, hi, Marie, right? Do you pronounce Marie?
Yes, Marie.
Okay. Hi, nice to meet you, Marie. We're on dashboard right now. So if you can minimize your Zoom and just be on the dashboard, I'm doing a little bit of a tour of the dashboard. And hi, Stacy. She's frozen. All right, frozen Stacy. Hi, Stacy. You were frozen before. Okay, so put as many signs as you want. There is no limit, and it will be loading every time you view the signs. It will be loading in a random way. So, and it's only, I think, 25 per page. I'm not sure, but I think it's I did either 25 or 50 when I was preparing it. Let's see how it works. You just do it after the class at your time, and we can look at it later. So that's what it is. And then if you go, well, you can read the rest of it here. It's all pertinent information on the side, on the bar side, on the right. So if you didn't join our little tiny small private Facebook group, please do, because if something happens, when I was doing last event, as everybody was there, almost everybody, you know, we had technical problem. My stuff died here and I couldn't continue. So in this case, if something happens, because a lot of technology is here, I will communicate through Facebook because it's fast. I could just get on the phone very quickly and tell you, give you a heads up. So that's why I need you to be there, only because of this. And of course, we continue with divine guidance science. Get to know Irene, it's about me, Zoom backgrounds. If you want to have Zoom backgrounds, you're welcome to have them. I prepared some for you. And then see, this is the button, view science photo uploads. That's when we could click and see people's science. And believe me, those who don't know, it's very inspiring to see other people's science, right? What they think about the science, what they find. It's very, very interesting. We exchange science a lot. Okay, so then you have the event agenda. Well, right now it's usually for my 3-day event, it's more complicated, but right now it's very easy. Every day, the same time. And these times are in your time zone. You don't need to calculate, it's your time zone. So if Melissa is in California, she has it here, California. If Shelly is in Arizona, we have it in Arizona, right? So you don't need to calculate. And finally, resources. This is your either homework or handouts for the day. I don't reveal them all at the same time. So this is for today. You can later. You don't have to do anything right now. You can download if you want to. You don't need to look at it right now because everything will be explained. So, and of course, pre-challenge assignment, I already gave it to you. This is just in case if you didn't do anything, if you slack on your homework. Okay, so that's basically it. And at the end, I know this is the most challenging thing for everybody. At the end, if you scroll down on your dashboard, please scroll down to the end, and you will see my squeaking face here, squeaking quietly. So this is, when we're done with the challenge, please go there. The dashboard will be open. Zoom will not be open, but the dashboard will be open because I'm going to try. Last time I was very good at that. I don't know how. This time I'll do the same. I'll try to do the same. I take the recording, process the recording, then I'll put the recording on the dashboard. So you can, after the challenge, you can still visit. Nobody else can visit because only your email will work and only you log in. But you can visit and the recordings will be there. So if you have to miss some people told me they're missing today and tomorrow, but will be here on the weekend. Well, the recordings will be there. You can watch the recordings. We have nice story of Mary who watched recordings last time for 3 days and showed up on Sunday, and it was epic. So that's how it will be. This time it will be on the dashboard, right? Yep. Okay. And the last one. So my squeaky face is asking you to give a testimonial after the challenge. If you like the challenge, and I'm sure you will, because who doesn't like divine guidance science? Whoever is here should like it. And so it can be either video or a written one. And I know, guys, you already gave me tons of testimonials. I'm not talking to you, but if you want, you can give another one. Okay, so I think I explained everything. Any questions about that? Okay, so I'm going back to my screen. Okay, perfect. And a few things about the logistics. Video. Well, I usually, as many of you know, that I download. I don't teach from my mental state. I download information from the spirit world, not in a weird psychic way. It's different, but I download it. People know it. People already have accepted it a long time ago. And my nose starts itching and we know the energy is flowing. So when I found out that when I get the screen like no video, I get distracted and my flow stops. So I'd rather keep downloading and keep giving you information versus get distracted. So please, 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 hopefully everybody will, have the video. Because when you go to your any class, used to be right before pandemic, everybody was face to face. Nobody was holding the cardboard in front of the face saying, I'm hiding. So the same here. And the second one, the the sound. Unmute yourselves when we talk because it's very interactive. I will want your answers. We will not discuss and so forth. And then mute yourselves because we could have interference. Okay, and I already told about the rest. And now we have 3 challenges, and I have a cough drop. So the first challenge for me is not to cough too much. That's the challenge. I've been already through the second one, 200 cough drops. My daughter thinks I'm addicted, but I cough so much after COVID that I can't even. It's either candy or I'm coughing nonstop. And the second challenge for me is not to fall apart in front of you guys. Well, we'll see how it goes. But the main important challenge, the most important challenge is this one. This one is for you. That's why I named the class the challenge, because it's a real challenge. And I'm not going to reveal it to you. It's a secret challenge. And it's not what you think, I'm sure. So I would like somebody to be my challenge keeper, meaning, you know, like timekeeper, but challenge keeper. On Sunday, you have to remind me, those people who have good memory, you need to remind me about this secret. And then we will discuss. I would like to see if you guys will pick up on that. Who will find out what the secret challenge has been for this challenge? Because this is a specific challenge for you all. It's your challenge. I'm not revealing it, and you will have to guess it or, you know, find out. So we will discuss it on Sunday, but I do need somebody to remind me. And I think it will be Amberlyn. Amberlyn, yes? You will remind me? Okay. And if Amberlyn forgets, you remember, please, that we have to discuss it because it's such a great point. And it's a, you know how everything I say, it's teaching point. Always, I always teach. So it's for you, and you need to get it revealed. You need to know it, right? But it will be revealed on Sunday. Ha, suspense. I hope you're intrigued. All right, so now we can do this. Well, sort of, we have brand new here, only Catherine. Like I said, we had 24 people signed up. With all my circumstances, many people didn't come. So I feel like it's a reunion because you guys are very, I don't even know what you're doing here because you're very, very good at divine guidance science. Okay, Catherine, I'm going to ask you because you are brand new here, and I will be asking you questions, and there is no right or wrong. You just answer what your situation is, and that's it, right? We are not going into discussion, just the answer yes or no, something like that, okay? So unmute yourself, and if you can hear my candy, sorry about that, I'll stop finishing it, and then we'll see how I will be able to handle it without, I'm just horrible after COVID, oof. Okay, so Catherine, have you received at least one sign in your life, divine guidance sign?
I'm not sure because it depends on the definition, but I do get feelings.
Yeah, intuition, feelings,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you saw my invitation at some point somewhere about divine guidance signs, what did you think immediately, or what did you feel? What was your reaction?
I had a feeling.
What was the
And
feeling?
like, it's not, my feelings are not specific. It was, I got it through LinkedIn because we're connected on LinkedIn.
I love LinkedIn.
And I remember people were sending me messages, and I saw that I had another one, and I was irritated because I was like, oh, frig, I'm tired of freaking LinkedIn. But then I said, you know what, just go check. And I read it, and I just had a feeling. And I said, you know what, I'm going to sign up for this. And then I'm getting off LinkedIn. So I actually have my profile in hibernation on LinkedIn after I signed up for this, because it was just distracting me too much. But I don't know, I just had a feeling, and lots of things have been happening in the last little while. Once I kind of turned a switch in my head about some stuff that's been happening.
Did you have any thoughts with the feeling, or just the feeling?
It's more of it's not a specific thought. It's like a push that says that's what made me do it, right? So I just thought, you know what, sign up for this. And then every time you changed it, it was good because something happened, and I go, okay, well, it's good, it fits, because then I can still do it next week when she does it again.
At least it works for somebody, right?
Yeah, it would. And that's what kept telling me, you know what, this is working, don't worry, whenever she has it, you're going to do it, right? And it's just lots of things have been happening, but they're not specific. Like I don't have any pictures.
And that feeling stayed with you because you showed up. Because you know how we could have a feeling in the first response, and then you just let go, and then you don't come, right?
I don't let go. When I have those feelings, I have learned over the years not to let go, to just follow it. Even if I don't know, I'm not sure, I just go. And then I said, look, it's an hour and a half. Come on, you must be able to fit this in, right?
Right.
So I don't, when I feel that way, I have learned not to ignore it, because when I ignore it, I pay a price.
She is right on target here, right, everyone? Absolutely. And it's so nice to hear your response, right, ladies? Because we know our responses, but it's good to hear a person who doesn't know anything about it suddenly. Yeah. So, well, the next question was, who followed the sign to the T? Well, you followed the sign, you felt the intuition or feeling, and you followed it to the T because you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you heard divine guidance signs, so did you know that we have signs? I know you told us about the feelings. Intuition, everybody knows about intuition. How about signs? Did you know that signs existed or not at all? What's your, some people know about signs, they just don't pay attention. And some people don't know at all. They just oblivious to the signs, which is fine. It's their choice.
I would say that it's almost that I have a feeling about signs, but I really don't know. I don't have something specific
So you
about
were not
them.
aware of signs before, right?
No, I mean, something, it's more things that happen. For me, it's more events, right? That I take as a sign, and it's how I feel about them. I'll give you an example. I have been looking for a contract, and my heart has not been in it, right? I just was like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I got to do it, right? And then I kind of, last week, I just said, you know what, you're just gonna have to switch your mindset about this, because next year you got to do this and this and this and this. And that was Monday. And I'm not joking. On Tuesday, I got an email about a contract out of the blue. And I looked at it, and my first thought was, I need to look at this. That was the feeling I got, the push that says, look at this. But when I read it, I was kind of like, well, I'm not sure they're looking, that this is the right fit for me, blah, blah, blah. But then I thought, you know what? I'm going to call. There was a number on the thing. I said, I'm going to call and ask. And when I inquired, he said, no, we're looking for people like you. And so I sent in my resume, and I got a call the next day from the person who. So again, it's like I make a decision. That's what I make a decision, and then something shows up, and I kind of know that I need to follow that thing. Yeah. Because I already made the decision, and because I feel that intuition about it. I've got lots of emails since, but I knew that one.
Yeah. You're in the perfectly right place. You're going to take your intuition to a much higher level, because we definitely use intuition, we definitely use feelings, but we take it to the very next level. I mean, very high level with that. So you are here for a treat. Would you agree, ladies? Because everybody knows about feelings, right? Everybody knows about intuition. Some people follow, some people don't, but everybody knows about it. But not everybody knows about the science. So when signs start coming in and you use your intuition to read the signs, oh my gosh, this is the PhD versus kindergarten. Make sense? Yeah. Perfect. And when you use your intuition, it's not kindergarten, obviously. It's already a high level, because not everybody uses it. People choose to ignore it. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to show you something, which I hope you guys are not bored hearing the same stuff, because you've been immersed in it, but okay. So here we have, I made this graphic myself and I'm proud of it. I put together 2 colors. Wow. So if you can see, oh, who can, instead of me, who wants to explain it? Who wants to explain what it is? Anyone? What the heck? Okay, I'll explain. Oh, Shelley, okay, go ahead.
Oh, yes, this veil of unbelief. That's where I lived before I knew about signs. You just are going about your life and perfectly unaware. You don't know that you're missing out on anything. It's just, yeah. I think that sums it up.
Thank you, Shelley. Perfect. Yeah, we all know it very well. So basically we have two parts. It's a basic spiritual anatomy, even though there is more complicated stuff. I'm right now just sharing basic here, just for the beginning of understanding. So obviously you can see the light, and that's the light that is our home. It's still our temporary home, but it's home in the light. So when we die, we go home to the light. That's where we dwell between lives here on earth. So that's our temporary home. And of course, I say temporary because there is a permanent home. We're not even going there. It's a high knowledge. So in that home, we function. So only live stream or soul, I'll use the word soul here for now. The soul, no, only soul can go there, right? When the person dies, what happens? Separation. The soul goes home to the light and the body remains on the bottom. The bottom is, see the dark, and I didn't want to put it black, it's purple, but it's the dark reality. It's the darkness. That's where we live on earth. It's the physical reality. So we have two separate different worlds. One is the spiritual world, the world of light with very high vibrations. So some of you already, majority of you know that light is a reflection of love. So light comes when love is. So when there is love, it gives flashes, so it gives reflection, and reflection is light. That's so cool, right? Very cool. Because when darkness there and there is no love, then there is no light. Okay, so there are two parts. One is physical, one is spiritual. And between them, there is a veil of unbelief. And veil of unbelief is very strong, I guess. It's made of all our things that anger, envy, jealousy, whatever. But this is the divider. It's divider, it's the border that we can get through. So this veil of unbelief keeps us unaware, asleep, unawake, and just not believing. Because when Catherine was explaining about her feelings, well, can we look at feelings? Can we touch the feelings? Can we understand? Can we believe feelings? Well, it's your choice, but it's hard. Some people don't believe, some people ignore. Catherine made the right choice to believe, right? But it's belief. And belief belongs to the light. Belief doesn't belong to the darkness. Because there is no belief in the darkness. We have to cultivate it. We have to make it like oh, I need to believe, because otherwise there is no belief there. Because why? There is a point here. Because in the darkness, in the physical reality, we operate through 5 senses. So a lot of people walk around as 5 sense people. Do you understand what I'm talking about? 5 sense people mean who can name the senses? Go ahead, throw the senses here.
Sight, hearing.
What's the first?
Sight.
Sight.
Hearing.
I can see. Can I see God? Heck no, I can't see God, right? So it doesn't exist. God doesn't exist because I don't see God. Okay, what's the second, Catherine?
Hearing.
Hearing. Can I hear God? No, I can't hear God, because if you hear voices, you will go where? To the hospital, right? To mental health ward. So if it's funny, you say to people, God told me to do that, and they look at you like you're an idiot, even though they all claim that I believe in God, I'm God's girl. But then when you say God told me, they're like, ah, yeah, right. Have you experienced that? You just don't tell people that God told you something, right? Yeah. Yeah. I had very strong experience like this. I'm not even going there. But nobody believed me when I said God told me. Okay. What's the third sign? I mean, sight. What's the third sense?
Touch.
Touch. Can we touch God? Not really. We can mentally say, oh, God is inside. We're touching. But what we're touching? The physical body, really. So, okay. And then what? Two more.
Taste.
Taste. Can I taste God? Well, again, we can mentally say, oh, yeah, we know God. We can taste. No, we can taste a melon. Oh, I can taste my stupid Dayquil that I forgot to drink. And it's nasty. So it's right there, staying here. And it's still here. I can taste that. Yeah. Okay. And what's the last one? Do you think I remember myself? Remind me.
Smell.
Smell. We can smell very nice, you know, when oranges bloom, we smell it on the road, but that's about it. Or flesh that is rotten on a road, fresh roadkill. Do you see that these five senses do not give the room for intuition, feelings, higher knowledge, nothing of it, because we cannot see, we cannot smell, we cannot touch. And what have we been taught all this time since childhood? These are five senses, and that's what they're right. That's why there is so much unbelief about God, unbelief about spirit world, unbelief about everything, and everybody has different beliefs because we can prove it through the five senses. So in that low reality and the veil of unbelief, that's what we do. We operate on five senses. To me, if I would hear divine guidance signs, I would be running to that place, right? How many run here? People who truly, truly, truly do not want to be five sense people. They want to be on a higher level because this is a high level. Why? Not to separate anybody. It's just because it's a high level. The light is higher in vibration. So when you get to that understanding that there is high level, there is high vibration, and on that high vibration, communication is different, you do not have to rely on five senses. In fact, what are five senses? They're very, very what? What are five senses? They make believe. They're not true. You could say it's nasty, and some person say, oh, I like it, Dayquil. I say it's nasty, you would say maybe you like it. Because they are subjective, they're here, and they're not really true. They're covering it up. So what do they serve? What do they serve, these five senses? Guess what? I was not planning to teach this at all. Do you see I'm already, I'm already downloading. That was not in my plans. So what are these five senses for? What do you think we need them for? Anyone?
The physical world.
For make-believe. Physical world is make-believe reality. It's not real. So those five senses help us navigate in the maze of not real reality, in the matrix. That's what we need it for the physical body, for the human. But who communicates? Okay, so now to the next one. Okay, you got my perfect graphic, right? So pretty. Oh my goodness. I'm laughing here. Back to the big screen. Ooh. It will stop being blurry. I know that. Yeah. fancy Sigma lens, make it blurry. Okay. This is, I will always give credit to Amberlynn. I loved her reaction. When I started explaining it one day, she was so in it. I love it. I still remember this moment. Okay. The soul comes from where? Where do we come? To the physical. From where? I just explained to you. Where does the soul come? From up there, right? And up where, I mean, not the high ceiling, but it's a high vibration. So light is a high vibration. The soul comes from the light. The soul comes from that first part of my graphic, right? The light. Make sense, everyone? And then the soul meets what? Soul meets what? Whom?
The body.
The body. And they become bodies. The soul and the body, they become bodies, right? That's what Amberlynn was amazed about. Just was so cute. She got all, oh. How does it feel right now to hear it?
I remember that day very well, and there was a little bit more of an explanation than that, and I remember it very clearly. And it was just the union of the two. When I finally made the connection of the union between my soul and my body, that my body doesn't have life without my soul, like that stuff, that just I don't know, it just blew me away, and I got it.
Yeah. I hope I won't fall apart, because now with my fresh experience, I want to use the examples. You know, I always use examples from my life. I teach on my experiences. So if I will stop if I can't handle it. So when I saw my mom's dead body, I looked at it, and with my spiritual knowledge, it's been so different. Whole experience has been so different because of my spiritual knowledge, right? And you know, I have very strong beliefs, and you could see clearly there was no live stream. It was so comforting. The body was a shell. It's one thing when I explain it to everybody, right? And I did see my father died a long time ago, but at that time I didn't know it. So when you don't know it spiritually, it's different. It's just different experience. You're not aware on that level. I got chills right now. So in this case, I was looking, standing there with all my spiritual knowledge, looking at her, and I said, I don't care about this. Imagine, I mean, my mom, I care a lot, but I don't care about the body, because she's not the body. She's the soul. And it was very, very clear, crystal clear, that the soul separated, or rather was released from the body, right? Got freed. That's what I was looking for. Got freed from the body. And it was very comforting, because why would I worry about the body if she's not there? Just like a robe, old robe, used, discarded, and that's it. Makes sense, right? So yes, of course, it was all together, human and soul. But when at the time of death, it's very clear that soul has left and the body is separate. So for us, it's very, very important to understand. That's why I wanted to explain it to you, because again, I'm working on that secret challenge, and that's all of it towards that secret challenge I told you about. Okay, so that's how, and here is an example. Again, my personal life. So I was, my husband at that time, he was in the Navy. And I was working on a child. So we already lived for some time, and then we decided, okay, we need to get a child. He kept saying we're not getting younger. Okay, let's have a child. And there was no child. So I decided to go and check for infertility. And I'm very defined. My mom was a medical doctor. My aunt was a medical doctor. My family had other medical doctors. So I grew up in that environment, and I don't have reverence for doctors at all. So I scheduled an appointment with a military in San Diego, military gynecologist for infertility to check myself. And they said the appointment only in 2 months. Okay, well, 2 months. He deployed, and 2 months is on Monday. Today is Saturday. Already 2 months passed. Monday will be 2 months. Monday is my appointment. Well, because I'm very defiant. I don't like doctors. I don't care what they know. I know a lot. So like this, right? So with this attitude, I woke up, and of course I didn't have attitude while I was sleeping, obviously. So I was sleeping. In the morning, I woke up. I knew that morning that I was pregnant. I knew that morning I was pregnant. I didn't need anybody to tell me, this is it. I woke up and I'm like, I'm pregnant. No sign whatsoever for 2 months. I was waiting for appointment for infertility. So here I am going downstairs. So immediately I ran downstairs. We lived in a 2-story in San Diego, and my mom was visiting me. Do you want to hear my cough, or you'd rather have me have cough drop? Is that okay if I have cough drop? This way I will be like, oh, oh, oh. Do you see what I'm talking? I'm not lying. This is my addiction now, I guess. So anyway, and I got down, and I'm in the kitchen. My mom is sitting at the kitchen table. And I said, Mom, I'm pregnant. Imagine, no sign whatsoever. I just know it. I woke up. And we both at the same time turned, because I had a African violet plant was on the table. And we both looked, and there was one pink violet bloomed overnight. And we both said, it's a girl. Not only I knew I was pregnant, I didn't need a test. I didn't need to go to appointment. I didn't need anything. I knew I was pregnant. Plus, we already knew it was a girl. I got chills all over. It bloomed overnight. What the heck, right? Who knows when they bloom? I don't know. I'm not a gardener. And it was only one flower, and it was pink. That was it. So what did I do, ladies? And I will tell you more about it, but what did I do? I read the signs. What was the first? So in other words, I got communication from the divine telling me, okay, your life is about to change, you're pregnant. The information was available to me. I just had to be receptive to it, and I had to read it. The first one was Catherine's method, the feeling, right? I got, well, not even that. I actually had knowing, because mine is feeling, yes, but knowing. I knew it. It wasn't even a feeling. I knew it with no doubt. So that's one. Remember, everything I explain, I teach you. So you already started learning about science. I knew it. And the second thing, we got the actual sign, physical sign showing, okay, pink. It didn't, I like, usually I buy violet ones. I like violet color, the purple, but it was pink. I didn't even know what it was, whatever it's there. So it was pink because it was a girl, and it bloomed overnight. Do you see? It was a sign, and we read it, and we both knew it, and even my mom knew it. Okay, now I will take you more farther. So Later on, I didn't know at that time because I was already, oh, by the way, on Monday, I went to the gynecologist and I said, with my attitude like this, I said, well, while I was waiting for your appointment, inside of my head saying stupid appointment, but I didn't say it. So while I was waiting for your appointment for 2 months, I got pregnant on my own. So they did ultrasound. Usually they don't do it at 2 months, but they did it on me. And they confirmed the gender. They said it's a girl. Who does it at 2 months? So that was the amazing experience, right? Okay, so what happened later on, I realized. Okay, before I say it, because ladies, you're very well aware of this stuff, some of you. So who can explain to me what I was going to tell next? Because with this example, what exactly happened? What exactly? How would you explain it in a spirit from the point of spiritual anatomy?
The soul entered.
The soul, thank you, Stacy. Perfect. The soul entered that night. That's why I had no signs of being pregnant, because the fetus was growing, didn't give me any problems, no signs, physical symptoms like morning sickness, right? Nothing. Because for whatever reason, the fetus, fetus was growing quietly. The body was growing, but it was uninhabited. And because, remember, well, for some of you, you know, I was a master hypnotist and I've done a lot of hypnotic regressions. And so I do know that the soul generally, majority of time, joins the body at 3 months. That's why they say no abortion after 3 months, because the soul enters the body. Somebody knew it. Is that cool or what? Although the soul can go back and forth, the soul is not connected to the body at that, it connects, but it doesn't stay there stationary. It goes up and down. It can fly out of the body. So anyway, that day, that night, the soul of my daughter joined the body, the fetus. And morning sickness started. I had to experience it. So it's interesting, right? That the soul joined and now we're all throwing up all the time. Yeah. So that's how the soul is here. It joins, it goes down, it joins the body. And basically what it says, hello, nice to meet you, the body. We're going to be partners. And a lot of times the body says, heck no, go away. I don't care about you. But that's already another story. So we have two entities and they're very separate. Did I make that point very, very clear? Because this is the foundation to read divine guidance science, because we're taking science seriously. They're very, very, I don't need to explain to many of you. They're very real. And so this is the foundation, so you understand why it's so important to see the science, and they're not just metaphysical book reading on the weekend. So anyway, make sense? Two separate entities. Who is in its own realm and who is out of place, so to speak? Tell me. Who is who? Who is in its own reality, at home? Who is at home?
The body.
The body.
The body. The body is at home because the body is born on earth in a physical reality in the mother's womb, and the body will do what? Will go back in the earth as an organic matter and will not go anywhere. So what does it tell you? Okay, Olivia, where did you not travel ever in your life? Give me any country, any place.
South Africa.
Okay, South Africa. There are lions there, pretty things. I wouldn't even want to go there. Some people love going there. South Africa. If I start telling Olivia Olivia, in South Africa. Well, I don't know. I have two friends from South Africa. I have nothing, don't know anything about South Africa. But if I say some facts about South Africa, if Olivia hasn't been there, she has a choice to believe or not to believe, right? Most likely she will not believe because she hasn't touched it. She hasn't seen it with her own eyes. She doesn't know about it. So she has to believe me when I tell her about South Africa, correct? Do you see what I mean? If you haven't been in the light, how do you know what's in the light? You don't know. We choose to believe or not to believe. Intuition is of the light. It's not a feeling is of the light in this case. It's not, although we have feelings here on earth too, but do you see that if I haven't been in the light, I don't know anything about it. I don't even know if it exists. That's why people say, how can we blame atheists who say God doesn't exist? Because they don't know. Make sense? We have to believe. That's another story. That's not the sense, 5 senses you named. It's not the belief that we have one of 5 senses. So that's I've described the human body. The body doesn't know anything about the light. That's why it was so hard, or it is still hard for people. They're afraid to die. And we say, we're immortal. We don't die. I was telling my mom, you're immortal. Thank God I've been preparing her for a long time. She came from Soviet Union. We didn't believe in God in Soviet Union. We grew up, it was prohibited. We couldn't do it. She believed quietly. She believed I had to keep very secret because we couldn't say it. And so she didn't know, she was afraid. Thank God for over the years, I was preparing her, and before the death, we talked about it. And I said, look, you going to the light, you going home, you're lucky. I'm staying here crying, you good. And I could talk about it. Why? Openly, because people are afraid to talk about it. Because I know it, right? Okay, so the physical body doesn't know it, afraid of death and all this stuff, and doesn't believe in it. And this one, what happens to this one? The soul. The soul knows everything about the light. The soul is the light. The soul is love. The soul is everything good. It's the peace of God, right? Makes sense? The soul is the peace of God. But what happens? Why many people very reluctant to incarnate? Many people. We don't want to come here. Why? Who knows?
Well, I'm looking at my grandpa is dying now. He has, it's okay. But I'm happy for him because he's trapped in this body that's just so heavy and sick. He can't do what he wants to do. He can't walk around. He can't take care of himself. And so it's gotten to a point where it really is a physical cage, and his spirit is trapped in it, and he wants to be free. And
you said he wants to be free.
yeah,
What does it mean?
He's ready to go. He wants to be free. He wants to go back home.
Which part?
His spirit.
Do you see? It's the soul. When my mom was saying, let me die, she said at the hospital, let me die, let me go. I am ready to go home. Who was talking? Do you think that medical doctor was talking who doesn't know about the light, the physical body? No. Her soul started talking. So the opposite happens. We're talking about ready to go, right? But what happens when we come? Like my daughter Amelia, her soul came into the body at that moment of that night. So what happened to her? She got trapped in a physical body, right? She got, that's it. I'm here. I incarnated. I can't leave unless I die, unless my body dies. we are based on the body, right? This is it. In other words, she got married. That's the marriage. Until you divorce and kill the body, kill the husband, you are staying here in the marriage. You cannot get out. You cannot even divorce in a normal way because you incarnated. And you have the specific time, lifespan to be in this body. Make sense? And so when they get married, they're together for better or worse. We know how it is, for better or worse. And the sad part happens. This one, the body is usually stronger. The body is represented by males. What are they? They're stronger, they're bigger, right? And they're very outgoing or outdoorsy or aggressive, all of that. What I've described usually describes the males. The women are more fragile and well, we have exceptions, but usually it's the nurturing energy. So the soul gets subdued by the body. The body is home. The soul is not. The soul is like foreign princess that came from, overseas. And the prince who is physical body brought her from far away. And now she's out of place. She doesn't have anybody around her. She's all alone. And the prince rules, right? We know that. How do you think she feels? Well, not only she feels whatever she feels, but she gets amnesia. In other words, the body is actively growing. The body is the child. But what does she have? She has amnesia. She forgot. It's not the body who forgot. The body is fine. The body is learning about physical reality. The body is at home, but she forgets her home. And how do we see it? Because if I right now ask everybody, well, Catherine, because others know the answer already, Catherine or Marie, either one. So let's ask Marie. If I say, who are you, Marie? Tell me give me the honest answer, not what you think I should. Oh, we're spiritual class here. Let me use my spiritual knowledge. No. What do you think when you live your daily life? You go to a store, you go to Sprouts, you go to Walmart, right? If I meet you halfway and I say, Marie, who are you? Generally, what would you say? Give us fast answers, don't think.
I would say I am a woman who's from Arizona and my dad was Italian and I, do this, this, and this.
Okay, good. Exactly. I mean, what else can you say? You're not going to tell me, I am a philosophical poet who writes some poems in the middle of the night, right? Or whatever. You won't. You just say, yeah, I'm a woman and I'm here and I'm the mother or whatever, or not. Doesn't matter, right? But I will say, yeah, what if aliens landed? Remember Maverick? The second movie, the new movie Maverick, when the plane crashed and he comes to the little place and he drinks water and he says, where am I? And the boy says, Earth. That was so funny, right? And so if I say to you, if I'm an alien and I landed on the Earth and I say, who are you? What would you say? To the alien. Alien might not understand the mother, but the alien will understand what, hopefully.
I would say I'm a human.
Yeah, no brainer here, right? I'm a human. And the mother is a human, right? If I'm a teacher, I'm a human. If I'm real estate agent, I'm a human. We got used to identifying ourselves with being humans. Every single one here identifies themselves with human. I was a human. I hated that feeling, but I was a human for 3 weeks or this month, whole month by now. human, very much human, dealing with human reality of the world, right? And that's how the soul operates. Soul is entombed. Maybe you've heard they say Christ is entombed. There is an expression. Well, Christ is the love. Christ is the soul. So the soul is entombed. It's hidden. It's engraved. In where? In the body. It's inside the body. And so the soul has amnesia. She forgot why she's here, what she's doing, what the heck, where she ended up, what's going on here. Why amnesia? Here is another question. Who knows why we get amnesia? I really changed all my plans and I went deeper because a lot of people here are already very knowledgeable about it. So I hope this one is good, right? To remind you stuff. So what's the amnesia? Why amnesia?
Is it so you can adapt to the physical? Because otherwise we just always want to go back.
No. Good try. No, good try because you don't know. You have amnesia. You just gave us the answer. I mean, confirmation, right? You got amnesia. It's because when you go from the light, and the light is very high vibration. High vibrational frequency. Do you know we all vibrate, right? Frequency. We have frequency. So we are in the light. A light is a very high frequency. God is the highest frequency. It's the love. It's the light. It's all that. When we get into the body is of very low frequency. That's when they say opposite attracts. That's what it is. Opposite the soul and opposite the body. And the body is of very, very low frequency. Very low frequency. And so what do we get? When we get into this heavy, heavy vibration of the physical earth, we get amnesia. We fall asleep. It's just because it's so hard to navigate. It's so hard to be here. It's so hard. It's very heavy. It's like molasses. Everything moves like molasses on the physical earth, right? Because if you need to do something, build a house, it takes time. You cannot just like that. Soul could build a house like that. Just think about it and it happens, manifest. But because we're in a physical reality, it's molasses and we're just heavy, heavy, heavy as molasses moving forward. So amnesia, we don't want, nobody created amnesia for us. This is not a game, really. There is a reason we incarnate. That's another story that I'm not doing it here. But amnesia is because we enter physical reality. It's like if you go diving. Have you ever dived or snorkeled? I didn't dive, but I snorkeled. It's a very different reality there. You with this pipe and you are underneath water and you cannot do really what you could do outside. It's a very different reality. And that's how it is. Make sense? You will understand more, right, about your existence now. Okay, why am I telling you all this in detail, in a great detail? Why do I need to explain it so much? I could just say, okay, here are the signs, look at them and just get them. No. Why do we need to know this?
Signs are like communication from God, like the divine. That's what they are. It's their way of talking to us.
Exactly. Remember. Oops. This is light. This is darkness. The soul comes from the light into the darkness. And it stays here, all by itself. And in this reality, there is no God because we can prove it. We can see it, we can't sense it, we can believe it, or we have to believe it, but that's not the five senses, right? So it has to rely on five senses. Who do you think, which one, here or here? Who do you think brought you to this class? Catherine. Which part?
Well, I guess it's my soul because it's intuition, which I consider to be my sixth sense.
Exactly. Exactly. The sixth sense is not of five senses. It's the sixth sense. And the reading science is the seventh sense, literally. So it's the soul that brought you to this class. It's the soul to brought guys for a union here. It's the soul that is on the journey here. Imagine my daughter Amelia got into the body for the journey. The body was provided to take the journey. So it's not the body, it's the soul. The body doesn't need the signs. The body is fine. It's the soul that needs the signs. But the soul, is so immersed into the physical. Everything is cut off. There is a veil of unbelief. It's like a heavy, heavy blanket that covers us. And it's like you're under the blanket, try to find the way, and it's dark. There's no light, it's dark. How do you operate? How do you go where? Where do you go? What do you do? But you have specific. What do we incarnate with? We hold something with us. When we're born, we have a suitcase to carry or something with us. What do you think it is? A blueprint of your life. We all come with a blueprint, contract. And so that blueprint, somehow you have to fulfill. You have goals for your journey. You didn't just drop here just because, oh, let me travel to South Africa. No, it's the journey that we have to take. Every soul is taking the journey. And when we say person wakes up, you've heard that, right? Spiritual awakening. I woke up in 95. You woke up, we know Amberlynn woke up when I spoke. And Stacy's responsible for Amberlynn's awakening. She brought me to speech to do the talk. Just examples, right? So we wake up. Who do you think wakes up? The body is not asleep. So who wakes up? The soul. When they say spiritual awakening happens, it's the soul that wakes up. And then the soul wakes up and says, oh, wait a minute. I'm not home. This is dark. This is not where I'm supposed to be. Prodigal son. I've been far, far away. Now my father is calling me. And my father is calling me. I have to make that journey home. I have to make it home. That's what puts people into the spiritual knowledge. Start being interested in the spiritual knowledge. That's what Catherine experienced, that push, right? Something was pushing me. Well, because that push you didn't ignore, you heard because it's from God saying to you, hey, I don't know where you are spiritually. I don't know you, right? I'm learning to know about you. So just forgive if I say wrong thing. But God says it's time to wake up in whatever level or to the next level, right? It's time to wake up. You need to get to that, whatever next level is, because you need to go home. That's all. We all have to go home. It's the go home journey. Where? To find God, to align with God, to be with God, to know all of this, and then leave. How do we do it? Well, the first level, okay. My candy. The first step, the first lesson is what? At least mine was when I woke up, it was what? start calling, start talking to God. Because God is calling you, well, guess what? I need to know where I'm going. What am I supposed to do? I'm working on a journey. I'm invited to the journey. You have to make a choice. And on that journey, I have to make a decision, but how do I know where to go? How do I know that blueprint? How do I know? When my mom was in Russia still, and I was in America already, what did we do? We call each other. My bill was $300 1 month, and that was AT&T $5 a minute. We didn't even talk that much. So it's, we had to communicate. So do you understand why I was telling you all this? Because this is not something, oh, cute subject, let me see, because I like reading metaphysical books, right? Ooh. I'm taking it serious, and everybody here is taking it seriously, because it's actually through communication. We're establishing, and that's why I'm spending all this time to tell you about it. We're establishing communication with this. With this, the yellow. This is divine guidance signs are from the yellow part. They're not from veil of unbelief. They're not from here. That's how they differ from superstitious beliefs or science. Because humans always had superstition. And that's so different, because superstition, who can tell me what superstition is? And why is it different? Anyone? What's the difference?
It's usually negative, like with black cats and ladders, etc.
How many cats were killed because they're black, and because some human idiot decided that the black cat needs to be killed? Humans, remember, even if you don't learn about science at all here, which you will learn, but if you don't, imagine what amazing knowledge you're getting. Human is different from the soul. These are two separate entities. We're not the same thing. And who are you actually? The soul. You're not the body. The body is your vehicle to be here on physical earth to make journey home to God. Is that cool or what? Well, majority here knows it's very cool. Right? What do you think, Marie? Is that cool for you?
Yeah, very much so.
Is there a aha moment in any of it? Oh, I need to get back to the, look at this. Oh, so love it. Technology.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some of this before, but the way that you kind of tied it all together, you know, like when you said the 3 months for the soul. So yeah, that was an aha moment for me.
Cool. Catherine, any aha moment for you?
Describing it as the veil of unbelief. I never thought of it that way, but I know that the soul and the body are different, and I've had enough relatives and friends die to see the difference, to
Good.
know when I'm looking
I
at a
mean, not
body.
good that they died, but good that you saw. the
No,
difference.
but it was very clear to me that the body is a shell.
Yeah.
And that they are not there anymore.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is. And I've had the experience of my best friend died. And I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it was a sign, because I woke up and it wasn't a feeling. I knew she had died that moment. And she had. When I got the email from her mother, it was the time that she died. And I think her soul just visited me.
Yep. I had that experience this time too. Yep. So you see, we are not the body, but it's very hard to believe it because in the physical life, we still associate ourselves with the body. We still do. Okay, so that's why we need the science, because the science comes from the light. Superstitious beliefs or superstition or superstitious science come from the darkness. They're from humans. Humans make them up. And we mechanically either believe or not, like black cat. Everybody knows, even in different countries. In Russia, the same thing. If black cat crosses in front of you, that's it. You're going to die. I'm exaggerating, but bad luck. So we'd rather kill the cat than bad luck will not come to us. Unbelievable. So stupid. But it's just mechanical belief in something that other idiot humans came up with, and we idiot humans believe in it. I was talking to my friend at some point, and she said, oh yeah, my sister believed in science. And when she would find a needle in front of the front door, when do you find a needle in front of the door, right? And then if she would start looking at neighbors who could do that, because the needle brings harm. Somebody wants to give you harm, and they put the needle there. Most likely because somebody believes in superstitious stuff, whatever they do, it might be true, like voodoo. Voodoo, there is truth to it. But it's not what we are about here. It's opposite, because this is all from humans. This stuff is from divine. So tomorrow we'll be talking about who gives us science. Today we were talking about the foundation. Tomorrow it will be who gives us science. So you're very clear that you're not worshiping any devil, or you're not doing anything crazy, or it's very, very serious. It's very, very real. And it really makes your life so much easier. Even Michael knows it, but it's not Michael. I'm talking about Mary's cat.
This is Harry.
This is Harry. Harry, so cute. Okay, so we got that part. Okay, so how you ask, so you get homework. And by the way, did you watch The Matrix? Yeah? Okay. The Matrix, we love that part. Mira and I love that part. Morpheus and Neo, right? They didn't meet yet. And Trinity. So Neo got a sign. What was the sign?
The thing on the screen.
Yeah. The screen was knock, knock, right? And what did it say exactly? Follow.
I can't remember now. Knock, knock, something.
The white rabbit, I think.
Follow the white rabbit. So my question is, why? Oh, and then white rabbit was what? The tattoo. So my question is, why? Who can explain this based on all this? Who can give us teaching explanation of why the movie had to have the white rabbit? Why couldn't they just come and say, okay, let's go? Stakes are high, right? You have to explain now. Who wants to do it? Olivia, you look like you want to do it.
Sorry, the maintenance people were at my apartment, so I didn't catch the last thing you said.
Uh-oh, I thought you looked like you wanted to do it. So who can explain why in the Matrix, Morpheus didn't just come to his apartment and say, come on, let's go, time to go. But first, Neo had to follow the rabbit, the white rabbit, and the white rabbit didn't come with Trinity. It came with some random friends. And by the way, there was another sign that was given to Neo at exactly that moment. Who remembers that one? Neo is talking to the friends, and he got another big sign. Basically, the information was given to him. He didn't get it, didn't catch it, but what was it? Anyone? Shelley? Yeah? No? The guy said, "You my personal Jesus Christ. You my personal savior, Jesus Christ." Remember that scene? Because something about drugs, right? Basically, it was about drugs, a computer program, whatever, we don't know. But he said, "You my personal Jesus Christ, you the savior." Meaning, he's already giving him information, or information is coming through the guy. It's not the guy who's giving it, but giving to Neo, you the one, because the whole movie was you the one, you the savior. And so the sign was already there. If he knew the signs, he could already talk about it. What the heck? What Jesus Christ? Right? So it could be just Jesus Christ's name, but it was a sign. But anybody? No? Last call. Who can explain? It's okay if you don't explain it right. Who cares? We're
I was
talking.
gonna take a guess, but Amberlynn, do you want to go?
Go ahead, Marie.
Oh.
You wanted to go ahead. Amberlynn will have plenty of time to speak.
So if I understand, or I'm getting this correctly, it would be that he had to see the signs to remind his soul, or speak the language from the light, from God, about what his true purpose is. So he had to follow the signs to discover his purpose.
Why would Morpheus just come, knock on his door and say, "Come on, Neo, you got the purpose. You're the one."
Because then he wouldn't believe, or he wouldn't, if his soul had amnesia in the physical body, then he wouldn't just wake right up.
Bingo. Bingo. First of all, Neo is not the body. It's only the soul who makes the journey home. Body does not make the journey home. So body will be refusing and resisting at first. Body will come up with all kinds of excuses not to go, and body will not believe. Because the soul is in amnesia, Neo doesn't know he's in make-believe reality. So he doesn't believe it. If Marie, God talks to you right now and you tell us, well, us, we're different, we're crazy people here. But let's say Marie is standing in the middle of Walmart and Marie gets voice of Morpheus. God says, "Marie, wake up, go, it's all make-believe." What would be your response? Would you go to psychiatric ward, or somebody, if you told them, they would take you there?
I would run home and go under the covers.
Yeah, you would be scared. You would not believe it. And you would say you went crazy. Because the amnesia is so strong that we can't even believe in it. If God really shows up, we will be so checking for all the signs of confirmation. That's what we do here. We want confirmation all the time. Oh, one sign is not enough. Give me 3. 3 signs are not enough. Give me 500, because I need to confirm. Do you see? We cannot get direct communication, not only because of that, plus it's vibration. It's all about dark vibration. It's hard. But also, of course, God could easily communicate with us. God is omnipresent. Everybody is omnipresent out there, ascended masters. But it's not the case, because we will not believe. We will need confirmation. We'll be arguing. We'll be scared. When mystical experience happens, what do people do? They get scared. The first thing, they get scared. And Morpheus and Trinity could not go there because they would be caught. Meaning, it's the vibration that didn't allow them to come to Neo personally. So they had to be creative to get Neo out. In other words, here is a very spiritual or basic spiritual principle. All miracles, that's why people have problem, humans have problem believing in miracles, because all spiritual miracles must happen in a natural way. Nobody will walk through the wall. Nobody will make a burning bush. We only have one burning bush in the whole history of mankind, right? Why? Because that was very important situation, I guess. But usually miracles happen in a natural way. And that's why you're like, was there a miracle or it wasn't? We have a mantra for that. You will learn this mantra a little bit later. How we know that, yeah, it has to be miracle. Amazing, right? Because it's just so hard to perceive. It's so hard to believe, because divine guidance signs are not of 5 senses. They're of 6th sense, the 7th sense, and higher. Okay. How do we, so your homework will be, Mary loved that. In fact, I want you to share with us. I want you to share that with us. Oh my gosh, I have 10 minutes. I have to okay, let me show you the very quickly PowerPoint presentation on, basically, you know it, but guys don't, Marie and Catherine. So we're going to, I will go through it fast. You don't need to memorize anything. Let's have fun with it. Just look at pretty pictures. That's all, right? So what? Science could be an object, flowers, wine, and there are many levels of understanding science. It's a lot to learn, but right now, basic stuff, just what they are. It could be anything. It could be a person. Could be a person comes to you, gives a message, you got the sign. Or they're just sitting there, it might be a sign. It could be a bird. I just had a huge owl as a sign for me. That's how I knew my mom was about to die. The graduation sign, the owl came and sat right in front of me, huge with big wingspan. Cat. Or it could be, so the cat, the animal could be a real animal that comes to you, or it could be the statue or a picture, or the post office people have chicken, I call it, but it's not, it's an eagle, right? Eagle on a vehicle, but it could be a sign. An insect, we love, Stacy and I love grasshoppers. We just love them when they come. It could be a snake. I didn't want to put the real snake. I just put this picture from Arizona somewhere. It's a snake, a reptile, or a frog. I saw a frog yesterday, or before yesterday. So I got another frog, guys. I have a story with frogs. They like me. A sign on the car, gold medal, or destination. In this on the second car, destination. Look at this one. I asked this lady to take a picture, so she posed for me on the back. Well, I was actually asking a question, and I entered Fry's, and here she was. I said, oh my God, you just answered my question. Forwarding all issues to heaven, faith. How cool is that? Yeah. On track. Melissa sent me this picture. On track. Oh, I love it. I actually saw it recently again, on track. Wow. Supply one. To me, that's sign from God. Supply one, because God provides, and one is the one. One is God. So at some point, I was meeting this truck all the time at the intersection. Look at this. You walk and suddenly you see, I love you very much. I love you so much. Cool, right? A sign on the license plate. Oh, I don't know. Catherine, where are you from? Where do you live? And Maria, you live in Phoenix, in Arizona, right, Maria? Catherine, where do you live?
I'm in Toronto, Canada.
I don't know how about you, but Arizona, I started realizing not every state has license plate like ours. Our plates are just, you read whole Bible on your license plates. You can read, that's where we study Bible here. We don't read Bible, but we studied here. So when I saw DC 636, so I immediately looked it up and I got the message from that passage. And so Arizona is, I guess, unique state. I don't know, because I don't think Florida has it. California doesn't have it. It's the customized plates. And we get, so we're lucky in Arizona. And Hulk, look, Hulk 2, Hulk 23, and it's a Hulk color, green. This one, I actually, here is a story about this song. It was a pandemic just started, it was March. Amelia got very sick with something. She was running very high fever for 4 days. I freaked out thinking, this is it, this is COVID, and it just started, imagine. And so we had to do the testing on Friday. So she got sick on Monday. On Friday, I took my mom and Amelia to testing facility here at high school, and we had to sit on a parking lot while we were waiting for the test. She was listening to the song, and somehow she started listening it out loud. Usually she's on iPod, whatever, AirPods. But and this song kept repeating itself over and over, and the refrain, everything's gonna be all right, everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be just fine, it's gonna be a good life. At that moment, I knew test will be negative for 3 of us. Amelia did not have COVID. Sure enough, they did the tests. We had no COVID for 2 years, right? My COVID came in November, that's it. So all this time, I did not get sick with any single thing whatsoever. For 3 years, I haven't been sick, except migraines when we process. But other than that, no sickness like that. And it was the sign right before the test that everything would be okay. Would you like to have a sign like that? Yeah. And I was calm. I didn't need to freak out because the test came 24 hours later. They were doing those official ones, whatever. But that was amazing. It can be a movie. Bruce Almighty was saying, give me a sign, give me a sign. Stuff was right in front of his nose and he didn't see it. And he was praying, give me a sign. So people pray, they don't get the answer because they don't get it. That's all. Answers are always there. I love fish because fish indicates money that comes, and it really works. It does. And this is the favorite of mine, right? And I think Mary, you like this too, right? The rabbit, white rabbit. And the next year is the white rabbit year. So we're celebrating it. Look at the carrots. And carrots is also gold, carat, gold. So it's not only just the carrots, abundance of carrots, but it's gold. So it's double sign, but the sign of abundance, right? Marie just had aha moment, carat, gold. Yep. See how we read the reality? It's just, it has layers to it. That's a spiritual principle. Things are not always as they seem. So you see the sign and you have to communicate, you have to know. Combination of colors. The first indicates anger, red and black. The second indicates purple, spiritual. It could be your child's award. I would get that pride, its whole story. Amelia would get those principal pride awards every time. She would not get it if I didn't complete the spiritual lesson. They would stall it. Somebody would get sick. They would have a ceremony. And then after that, I would complete. She would get the pride and give it to me. So like, yeah, I got another lesson done. It could be in the news. You watch TV and suddenly, boom, you get the information, some message. You can, this never fail. I mean, they all never fail, but never fails. I always wait because once the person talking to you conveys the message, the conversation ends. And I usually wait for it because the person will say, okay, I have to run now. Sure enough, because the message was conveyed. It could be a dream, a thought, a realization. And dream, I mean night dream. And do you see? Knowing, feeling, sensing, perceiving, the urge, the push, the call, all of it. This is the system of communication. And, and who communicates? The soul communicates with home, not the body, not the human, not anything here. It's the soul. This is my message to you. The soul communicates with home. These are divine guidance signs. Okay, and now we're done, but I want to give you homework. It will be fun, and I hope you'll do it. And ladies, I know you've done it many times, I think by now already, but how about you still do this homework? Because now it seems like you're moving to the next level. Do you see what I mean? And I bet for you, it's interesting to perceive how you perceived it last year, a year ago, basically, last March, they were at this challenge for the first time. And now it's different. So I would like to learn from you later on your impression, your Shelly's calling. Sorry. Shelly, hi, you on speaker. Shelly? Okay, I thought something urgent because she was right there in the class. Okay, so homework. Go for a drive. That's addition. I never had that before. Mary gave us this idea. Go for a drive or go to Starbucks, go to Walmart, go to some place where you will see people, some activity, right? I can get signs sitting at home, but right now for you, you need to go to where activity is, right? And you will, and if possible, so get one sign. I don't need bunch from you. If you can get just one sign, not you ladies. You ladies get bunch, but Catherine, Marie, well, Olivia could get at least 5. How about that? She's very serious right now. Yeah. Yeah.
How do I know it's a sign? For example,
yeah.
if I see a
Very
dog,
good
how do I
question.
know it's a sign dog and not just
Perfect.
a dog going by?
Yeah. Perfect. No. This is good. So you go to that place and you look around, you observe around. It could glow at you. It could stand out at you. You could just know it is for you. Right now, we have a whole handout of what reactions could be, but what the point is, before you go, you have a handout on the dashboard. So when you get off, go to your dashboard and download the handout that says, I don't know what it says. It says how to ask for a sign. And you ask for a sign, God or angels, whoever you want to communicate with from the spirit, not any dead people, please, right? We're talking about highly evolved spiritual beings like ascended masters or God, and just say, God, give me a clear and unmistakable sign. It's all in writing. You will see it. Unclear and unmistakable sign. That's it. There is no right or wrong. It could be a sign, it might not be. Right now, we don't worry about it because we're not going to PhD if we're still in kindergarten with science. You guys just learned about the science. Why would I push you to know everything about the science, right? Heck no. So we want to have fun. Amberlyn can tell you she was very serious. She couldn't get science for 10 months. So no, we're having fun with it. Just look around and say, okay, this is my sign. Just decide on it, right? If you have nothing else, then nothing else comes. Just decide that this is your sign. Doesn't matter. Just get one sign, take a picture if you can. What if it's a song? You can't take a picture. It's a song on the radio. Something then that stands up for you. Okay, got it? And have fun with it. No seriousness at all. It has to be fun, otherwise it's already a difficult subject, so just have fun with it. One sign, that's all. You could get sign on the way to Walmart, whatever. Starbucks is good because you just sit there and you spend time. But if you're shopping at Walmart, just be aware and start looking around. Just go look around. Walmart has tons of signs. It's like encyclopedia of signs. You can get whole life reading. You don't need to go to a psychic. You can go to Walmart and get free life reading. Yes, Olivia, you got your hands up.
I wanted to say something that might help as well. Usually I find that I find or see signs that are relevant to what I'm going through in life at the moment. So if I'm looking for a particular answer, or if I'm having trouble with something or something isn't clear, maybe I'll see a license plate that will say you're on the right path or God or something.
Yep.
So it usually correlates to what you're going through, if that helps.
Yep, perfect. Thank you. Yes. And I want Mary, if we're done, but a few more minutes because Mary has very good experience with that exercise. Amberlynn will be sharing tomorrow, by the way, not to put you on the spot, but you will be sharing tomorrow about your first sign, very first sign. But Mary had a very interesting story. It will help you as well, might help you.
Do you mean the one from the class from March, right?
Yes, yes. The one that where you went to Starbucks or
Yeah,
coffee shop
Yeah, I went
and
to a
you got
coffee shop.
Astravan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to Irina. So like you, Catherine, yes. I had, it was just like this intuition on LinkedIn. So that's why I went, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go do this because it said divine signs. And I just knew like that was like the calling. And so I was trying to catch up through the classes, and I was watching Thursday and Friday because this was on a Saturday. And so Irina had given the homework to go to a coffee shop. And so I went to a coffee shop, and it was called Coffee House 29. And I was there with my son. I'd only been in this coffee shop one time, and I was like, I really don't know why I'm here, but I'm here because I said I would be here and do the homework. And I'm sitting there with my son, and I was just like, really just kind of tearing up, like things were a little difficult in that moment, really. And all of a
a lot difficult.
yeah, a lot difficult. And I all of a sudden could hear the song, like the music been playing, but I hadn't heard any part of it. And so it was just like, everything's going to be okay. And I was like, what? You know, and again, like I started to tear up, and apparently a new song started, right? And I was like, how did I even miss that? Like time was just flying, but I wasn't even aware. And my son had left, and I had a napkin, and I was literally catching the tears so that they didn't come down. And the song just starts playing, and it's like, you know, don't cry, just dry your tears. Jesus drives an Astrovan. And I just busted out laughing, because why would Jesus drive an Astrovan? Like, of all the cars. And I'm a car person. So I'm like, what? So I knew in that moment it was for me, nobody else. And I was supposed to be here. No second guessing, third, anything, just done. Like, you're here because Jesus drives an Astrovan.
Oh,
Sorry. That's
Goodness.
okay.
And I said to Mary, because we were doing an interview about that, and I said, Mary, I don't even know what Astrovan means. So this is how it works. Because Mary, a person who likes cars and she pays attention to cars, her message, her sign was given through her normal ways. Like Amberlynn reads license plates, and she got from license plate. So for Mary, it was the car. Because I said, Mary, I don't even know. For me, Jesus rode donkey before, and now he could go buy whatever and doesn't need any transportation. So it wouldn't speak to me because it's not my reality. I don't know about it, but she got the sign. Do you see? The signs are
literally
very,
said,
very
like,
personal.
Dry your tears.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus drives an Astrovan. So of course I'm drying my tears, as it comes across. And then there's the Astrovan is kind of like all the cupcakes.
Yeah. So the main thing is you need to relax, and you do not, otherwise you will close, you'll block it, right? So you just say, okay, this is how I do it. I say, God, give me a clear and unmistakable sign that whatever, right? And usually I say within 24 hours, within 48 hours. Sometimes I'm generous. Sometimes I give God 72 hours, and then I just let it go. Well, you don't have 72 hours. You have 24 hours till tomorrow's class, right? Or whatever time. But just relax. If you don't get anything, then come up with something. What could be a sign, right? It's okay. It's it's nothing right now. It's not serious. It's okay. But if you relax, but you pay attention, you do have to pay attention. This is a training that usually we go through. You have to start being aware, because people walk through life unaware. They don't pay attention to what's happening on the spiritual side. So this will start training you to pay attention. That's it. And you relax, and then know that the sign will come. You might not notice it, but the sign for sure will come. And it's okay. If you didn't notice, it's okay. Just take a picture of something, some post, and say, oh, this is the post. It has the light on it. That's my light. Yeah? Good? Okay, we're done. So hopefully I didn't scare Marie and Catherine with anything. Everybody else is very well versed. So I do want to hear your how you perceive it this time. And we're done for today. So I'll see you tomorrow. And I didn't fall apart, which is very good. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.